Hello, welcome to the Polyglot Files. My name is Michael, and today we are doing our sixth, I don't know what number. Sixth. Hello, welcome to the Polyglot Files. My name is Michael, and today we are doing our sixth installment of the Learn Russian vlog series. In today's video, I just wanted to give you all a quick update with how my Russian has been going, and I also wanted to outline some goals that I had not only for the next couple months, but for 2017 as a whole. In my previous Russian vlog number 5, I was sort of down and out about learning Russian, and I was kind of close to giving up. Luckily, I didn't, and I actually put in more effort with Russian than I think I have since the beginning of this whole vlog series. I did a couple chapters of this textbook, I did a couple lessons on learnrussian.rt.com, and I was not necessarily doing new modules in Duolingo, but I was reviewing the old modules that I had learned through the practice feature on the app. During that time, I also realized that I was really spending a lot of time in written Russian, but I wasn't necessarily listening to it or speaking any of it. So I ended up wanting to add a listening component. It's really dry and really cold in Canada right now. If somebody wants to send me $1,000 to go on a vacation to Cuba, I will not ask any questions. I will just go. Okay, so I wanted to add a speaking and listening component to the learning Russian materials that I was already using. So I started searching for Russian podcasts online, and I ended up finding the Russian Made Easy podcast. For those who don't know, I spend a lot of time driving because I am a private English and French tutor. So on average, if I tutor 4 hours a day, I probably spend about 2 hours in the car. That's a lot of dead time, and I decided I would use some of that time to help me improve my Russian. Okay, so long story short, I'm babbling, I apologize. I have been using the Russian Made Easy podcast during my commutes. At times, I wish the podcaster would introduce more material a little bit more quickly, but right now, it's just a really good way for me to perfect my accent on certain phrases and to be able to sort of hear Russian as it is spoken. While I was searching for that podcast, I actually came across 2 other websites that I'm excited to use. The first is don'tspeakrussian.com, and it is kind of an unstructured beginner Russian course. It has a bunch of different lessons on vocabulary and grammar, but what I'm most excited about is its section on Russian conversations. I am really excited to start using these perhaps in a couple weeks to help me listen to native Russian conversations. I also found another website called 101languages.net. There is a section for Russian, and it just basically has 100 word lists with audio recordings for the most common Russian vocabulary. Okay, that was all the stuff that I had been doing before Christmas. But then Christmas came. Now, this is gonna sound a little bit counterintuitive to all the things that I normally tell people about language learning, but I took a little bit of a break between Christmas and New Year's. It's just not a good look for me to go upstairs for hours on end and learn languages instead of spending time with family who has traveled many hundreds of kilometers to come see me. But now that the holidays are over and it's 2017, I'm really excited to pick Russian back up and to continue learning it on a regular basis. So that brings us to part 2 of this video, my 2017 goals. Since 2016 was the first year that I actually got really involved in scheduling and goal setting for my language learning, that schedule is kind of always evolving. What I'm trying to say is I quickly found out in 2016 that the goals that I was setting for myself were not always able to be attained because I was giving myself too much to do in too short of a time. To give you a recap, and I know I talked about this briefly in my How to Learn Multiple Languages video, I'm not sure where these videos are coming up. So as I talked about in my How to Learn Multiple Languages video, I have a weekly schedule for language learning. I was just finding though, as time went on, and especially as I got more busy at work and I was spending more time making YouTube videos, I just wasn't able to stick to the schedule. So instead of trying to bunker down and just never sleep in lieu of doing my language learning goals, I decided to take my weekly schedule and make it into a bi-weekly schedule. What this means for Russian is that every 2 weeks I will complete 1 unit for the new Penguin Russian course. I will also complete one lesson in the learnrussian.rt.com. I will have listened to at least 1 to 2 podcasts from the Russian Made Easy podcast, and I will have completed a couple modules in the Duolingo Russian course. Also, I wanted to let you all know that I am going to be taking my first Russian test from learnrussian.rt.com during my next Learn Russian vlog. I have completed lesson 1 through 5, and for every 5 lessons there is sort of a unit test. I am going to actually be taking the test on camera and then reading the results out to you. So if you have any strategies or any tips for me in terms of how to study for this test or how I should take this test, let me know in the comments below. I've never taken a test in Russian before, and although I'm assuming it's going to be pretty close to other language learning tests, it is a completely different language with a completely different alphabet, and I'm sure there are lots of you who can give me some pointers. Feel free to check out my social media information. I have a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh, excuse me. Ow. Thanks for watching the Polyglot Files. I will see you next time.